Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Passive Income Lifestyle Series. I'm your host, Travis Watts, the Director of Investor Education here at Ashcroft Capital. In today's episode, what we're talking about is syndication investing right for you, and the 3 steps to find out. Disclaimers as always, never financial advice, not telling you or anyone what to do with your money. This is for educational and informational purposes only. Let's go ahead and get started. I want to do something different I've never done on one of these episodes, and I actually want to share my screen with you. I'm going to do a little PowerPoint for you, and I'm going to pull that up right now for you. There you go. You'll see on your screen the 3-step process. Let me give you a quick backstory. The 3-step process was something that I created for myself years ago when I was struggling with figuring out what types of investments were going to meet my goals and my values. So we're going to examine your goals, your values, and then whether or not a particular investment aligns with those. This is a critical foundation, in my opinion, to being able to figure out how you should invest and what you should invest in. So again, what are your goals? What are your values? Does that particular deal that you're looking at align with those? So I'll give you a couple examples. Let's start with goals. And what I put up here on the screen are personal goals, not financial goals. So I'm not talking about dollars and cents here, not that type of goal or ROI. I'm talking about what do you really want to achieve in life because you're an investor. And this is not an all-inclusive list by a long shot. I just put a few common examples that I hear from people a lot. And it's more free time, more travel, more charity in your life, maybe an upgraded lifestyle from what you currently have, reduce stress, more flexibility, security, and stability. So if I were to go through this on my own for myself and pick my top 3, and that's what you need to do too, examine your top 3 personal goals when it comes to investing, I would say it's travel. I've always been an advocate for travel my whole life. And reduce stress. When I used to manage single family homes, I had a lot of stress that would build up over all of that in different areas. And then security and stability. After all, I don't want to lose what I have earned and worked hard for. As we look at values, again, subjective and not an all-inclusive list, but we're talking now about financial values. What do you value when it comes to investing? And people have told me different things over the years: wealth preservation, equity growth, which is the appreciation in the investments, passive income generation, retirement, financial independence, minimizing risk, tax efficiency, liquidity, and the list goes on. So again, I'll go through this quickly on my own and share it with you. Mine would be wealth preservation. Number 1, not wanting to lose the capital and net worth that I've built. Number 2 would be passive income generation. I love working with groups like Ashcroft Capital that do monthly cash flow distributions. It just helps the bottom line every single month, and it's more measurable and predictable in that sense. Tax efficiency, that's really important. You know, I never got into investing in the beginning for the tax reasons, but I've come to learn taxes play a huge part. And if you can get more of your money back every year, that's that much more you can put into further investments. So those are my values. So let's talk about a private placement or syndication. This is a quick visual for you. That's you or I at the top, front and center. We're a limited partner, AKA a hands-off investor, and we're investing into multifamily real estate, large-scale commercial, institutional real estate. So this could be in a fund if it's diversified that way, private placement fund. This could be one property individually. It just depends on the operator in the offering. Then you have a general partner or general partners, in this case, Ashcroft Capital. They found this deal or they created this fund. They underwrote the properties. They raised the capital from investors. And their job is to actively manage the business plan from an asset management perspective, from a property management perspective, from a construction and turning the units perspective. And ultimately what they're trying to do is increase the rent and revenue, the net operating income, and reduce the expenses, or at least limit them to not be as sizable. And then we all take a share in the cash flow or the passive income, the tax benefits and any potential equity upside. And those come back to you and I in the form of monthly distributions. Sometimes we do refinances, and then when we sell the property. So long story short, it's pooling of capital where you've got an active team and a lot of passive partners, and we're all collaborating together to buy some large real estate. So if we take that type of investment, we stack it up against what I just shared with you, which were my goals and values, we can take a look at it like this. I told you that travel is one of my biggest goals, and hands-off investments really help with that, where I don't have to show up to closings and turn units and screen tenants and manage property managers. This truly is a hands-off investment, which allows me the time and the freedom to do the travel that I like to do. Number two is not having to manage tenants. As I mentioned, that brought a lot of stress into my life for many years, and I was trying to do a very busy W-2 job in addition to all of that. This is a lot less stressful for me to have, let's say, 50 of these syndication investments versus 50 single-family homes that I'm responsible for. Number three is apartments provide an essential need for people, and that is an affordable place to live here in America in 2023 and 2024. And this is the security and stability. I'm parking my money into an investment that is in high demand and is absolutely essential for people. It's not something discretionary in the economy. Now, if we turn to values, a multifamily apartment community is a tangible asset, meaning it's real. You can touch it, feel it, see it. You can visit it. It's functional. It's an actual thing. And so this ties into wealth preservation. Again, you're investing in something essential and in high demand. So what's the probability that the value of an apartment building suddenly goes to zero? Again, you have insurance, you have high demand, you have lots of renters. It serves an essential need. So it's a way to help preserve your capital. Cash flow, I only invest in cash flowing real estate, and that in turn provides passive income. In the case of Ashcroft, on a monthly basis, which is very helpful and easier to track. Depreciation, tax advantages, 1031 exchange options. This is what allows this vehicle to be tax efficient and to help your money compound quicker for you. So I share all that with you, not to highlight just the pros. I do want to cover the cons with you, because just like with any investment that exists, there's going to be pros and there's going to be cons, and we need to examine both. And I want to show you, when it comes to cons, understanding that, again, nearly every investment is going to have cons. What matters is how you overcome those objections. So let's examine a few cons of a real estate private placement. The first being less control. I'm relinquishing control as a limited partner so that the general partners can make decisions on my behalf and on behalf of the investors. So compared to owning your own single family home, you have less say-so in refinances and sales and how you renovate the property, etc. So how I've overcome this is the track record of the team that I'm investing with. So in the case of Ashcroft Capital, they've got a stellar track record, 26 deals, full cycle through the business plan, beginning to end, an average 25.6 cash on cash return to investors historically. Obviously, past performance never indicative of future results, but this is a great key metric to consider if you're looking at private placements. Have they done the business plan before? If so, how successful were they? Have they ever lost investor capital? Number two, interest rate risk. All real estate will be affected and is affected by interest rates. So as we've seen a very aggressive tightening cycle by the Federal Reserve over the last couple of years, what it's meant is borrowing costs becomes larger for new buyers, which means that the price needs to come down on the asset to be able to make the numbers work. And I'll showcase the last two deals that we bought at Ashcroft Capital that's in our Value Add Fund 3, which is still open. And it's that we purchased these deals off market at about a 25% discount relative to previous pricing. And that had everything to do with interest rates being higher. Additionally, we were able to negotiate another $1 million discount because we bought two properties from the same seller. So this is an opportunity to buy the dip. The third is local market risk. There's always risk in the market you decide to invest in. Are there going to be people renting your apartment? Can they afford the rent? And what types of jobs exist in that particular market? So I'll take a quick case study of Sarasota, Florida, which was one market that we're active in and one market that I've been active in personally. And the population growth since 2020 has been 4.2% compared to a national average of 0.4%. The 10-year average unemployment rate, 3.1 compared to a national average of 4.1, so lower unemployment is a positive. The 5-year total projected population growth, 13.1% compared to a national average of 0.5%. Guys, that is an outstanding metric right there. And last but not least, jobs, 12-month total job growth in 22, 3% compared to a national average of 0.7. So all of this to just suggest that you can do your due diligence on markets and you can pick markets that are poised to outperform the national average, which is reducing the con in that instance. So at this point, I never do this on the show, but I want to encourage you to book a call. I'd like to walk you through your own 3-step analysis, share in more detail the data that we just covered so that you can discover what your goals are, what it is you value, and whether or not a real estate private placement makes sense for you. Go ahead and scan the QR code here on the left of the screen or visit either of these sites on the right, calendly.com/Travis Watts or ashcroftcapital.com/Travis. Please don't procrastinate. Please do book this call. I'm not going to upsell you on anything. I just want to share in more detail this foundation that's been critical for me to help understand what investments make sense in my own portfolio. You can go through this exercise and you can work with your financial advisor or your spouse or just independently to help clarify what investments can help you. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful. If you ever want to take a deeper dive, aside from booking the call, you can reach me at travis@ashcroftcapital.com. And to learn more about our current offerings and opportunities here at Ashcroft, you can visit ashcroftcapital.com. Have a great week, everyone. I truly appreciate you being here as always, and we'll see you in the next episode.